Hi everybody. I'd like to preface this video with a thank you and a welcome back to my subscribers and viewers, and a thank you and welcome to anybody new who just stopped by today. You guys have been so good about hanging out with me and coming along on this YouTube journey with me and my quilting fun. I just like to have fun in here. And I hope you've enjoyed seeing the new fabrics, or new to me anyway, fabrics and techniques and different patterns. I just want this to be a really fun place where people can hang out, ask questions, quilt along, have fun, and just enjoy the process with zero stress. We just want to have fun and enjoy our hobby. So thank you to everybody. I also want to extend a huge appreciative thank you for your patience while my hip has been hurting me, and after my hip replacement surgery and my recovery time. And Poe just came up to say hi, so you might see his tail going back and forth, and I think there he goes. Anyway, my hip surgery went well. There was a little more damage in there, and the doctor had to do a few more screws and a little more hardware. So, you know, it was a big deal. It was, you know, kind of a crazy, kind of a crazy journey, but you know, everything worked out fine and I felt great. 2.5 weeks after my surgery, I was home and I bent and I moved a little funny and I dislocated my hip, the new one. So I had a little setback, and it felt like it set me back a couple of weeks, and I just had a little bit of pain that won't quite go away. I don't know if I pulled a tendon. Everything looks good. The doctor said everything's fine, but I've just had a little bit of a hobbling that I just didn't have right after the surgery. So hopefully it's just a pulled tendon or something that needs to bounce back into shape and we'll be good. But structurally, nothing's wrong. So yay. Anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, hanging in, sticking by me during all this crazy procedure. I promise at the end of this video, there will be a quilt top. A done quilt top. So yay! The quilt is not going to be done, but you'll have a top to see. So without further ado, I want to do my cousin Sherry's quilt top and its stepping stones. Hello and welcome to Four Clovers Quilting. My name is Diahn. I'm so happy you're here with me today. I have a project that I want to do that's twofold, so I'm hoping I can get both pieces done and show you at the end of this video. I have a cousin, my first cousin, who is 20 years older than me, and her daughter is my age. So I grew up with her daughter, but Sherry is my cousin, Jamie's my second cousin. And Sherry, my cousin, has lived in the same house for, I want to say, maybe I'm goofy, but when I was a kid, I remember being there for at least 45 years, and she just sold it and moved to a condo. She said, I'm just tired of yard work and the upkeep and all that stuff. So she just moved to a condo here a little while ago, a handful of months ago. And I thought, maybe she needs a nice new lap quilt and matching table runner for her living room kitchen. So I thought that might be kind of fun. So my goal was to pick a fabric that had a matching border print. That's kind of hard. So this is the fabric I picked out for the focal. I absolutely love it. It is called, oops, now I just dropped it. It is called Deborah's Garden by Michael Design Works for Northcott. Here is the selvage. Let's see if you can see that. And isn't that yum? Oh, just the wildflowers just make me happy. And this is the border print that went with it. So I thought, well, that might be kind of cool. So let me show you what I want to do for the table runner with this border print. It's the same exact Deborah's Garden Northcott fabrics. This is what I want to do to make her a little table runner. And you don't have to just do these two swirls. You can make it bigger. So I'm going to see what I can do with this to match a little quilt. So that'll go with that guy. And I had one pattern in mind and it was this one called Stepping Stones. Let's see if you can see that. Stepping Stones, and it is from Pretty Darn Quick. Whew, couldn't read it backwards. 3-yard quilts from Donna Robertson at Fabric Cafe. And they have got the coolest patterns. If you're not familiar with how a 3-yard quilt works, they have 3 1-yard cuts, and you can also enlarge it, which is really fun. So you have a focal fabric, which will be this guy. Then you don't think about that anymore, and you pick out 2 coordinating fabrics. Out of those 2, you pick one that you have a lighter one and a darker one. The lighter one is fabric 2, the darker one is fabric 3. And it gives you all these, it says right here, fabric 1 instructions, cutting instructions, fabric 2, and fabric 3 cutting instructions. You just cut what you want, what you need out of those. It is slick. So these were my 2 fabrics that I chose to go with it. So I have fabric 2 and fabric 3. And these both just say QT fabrics. That is all it says. And this one is really hard to read. I don't think you can see that, but it's got little daisies on it, or little flowers. So these are my 3 that I want to do. And I thought, oh, that's going to be so pretty. Well, I hope it's pretty anyway. So this is the pattern. Let me just, this is the pattern that I wanted to do. That's the one that I had in mind. And the floral block will be here, and the dark tealy color is the purple, or the pinky purple. It's a mottled leaf. And then the surrounding of those stepping stones that are going up will be the white bloom. Whew, it's hot in here today. So then I thought, I looked at that pattern, and I thought, well, I kind of wanted the big block bigger to show a little bit more of that fabric. So I went to another one of their 3-yard books. This one is Fast and Fun 3-yard quilts. And I found this one called City Lights. It again has a big block, and then it has the same kind of aesthetic with that trailing stones, should I say. And this one, I believe the block was 1.5 inches bigger. So I thought, hey, that might be kind of cool. So, but you know, I got to thinking, and I really like the stepping stones pattern. That's the one I had in mind. And sometimes, you know, you have something in your mind and you're like, I'm just going to stick with that, because, you know, that was the first thing that popped into my head. So what I think I'm going to do is, I don't know if this will work, but I'm going to try it. I'm not going to cut fabric 1 at all. That's just the big squares. I'm not going to do that yet. From fabric 2 and fabric 3, I'm going to just cut each piece 1 inch bigger and put that together. Because I thought, how would I get, let me see if I can get you a better diagram. How would I get this little unit here, you know, if I wanted a 12-inch square, how would I get that unit to match? And I'm like, ugh, that is way too much math for this chick. I've been out of school for 38 years. I don't want to do it. So I thought, I'm going to make this unit first with the blocks, and then I will cut this solid piece to fit that square. And if I make each piece 1 inch bigger, I can always just trim down that single block to fit. I'm hoping. That is what I want to do. So I'm going to get these all ironed up and ready to roll. There is also another one of these Triangle Frenzies triangle patterns, and it just uses a 60 degree equilateral triangle. And I made Mom this one. In fact, I'm going to go get it. I'll be back in a flash. And I made that, and I gave it to her last Christmas. So it was really fun. You could do a tree skirt, or I did a table topper out of pansies. And I just think it turned out so pretty. So I'm going to run and get that. It's right upstairs. I'm going to run and get that and show you how that looks. And I'll be back in a flash. Okay, guys, I went and got it off of the couch. It was on the back of the couch. It had so much cat hair on it, it weighed 42 pounds. Anyway, I think I got most of the cat hair off. And this is what it looks like. I hope you can see it okay. But it is so fun. And I did it with this really fun pansy stripe or border. And Oh, I thought it was so pretty. And those colors ring my bell anyway. And then on the back, I had a piece left, so I just put that across the back. And just to give it a little fun. So there we go. And I just did straight line quilting on it. You can see my quilting on the back. Quilting is not my forte. I wish I was better at it, but you know, strings everywhere. But that's what this looks like, and it is super fun. So I'm hoping to get that done to go along with her quilt. So I will be back when I get a little done. Hi guys, just a little update on what I did. Okay, on making those enlargements, well, I didn't do one enough. So let me just show you this. On strip assembly, let me see what I'm doing. Strip assembly A, I just added an inch to each piece. So follow the instructions, just add an inch width. If it was an inch, then you cut it at 2 inches. If it was 4 inches, you cut it at 5 inches, like that. On strip assembly B, I came up a little bit short. I was about a 1/2 inch short, so I just added an inch to this, and I added 2 inches to this strip, the wide strip in strip assembly B of fabric 2. So what happened? Here's the finished block. So it turned out cute. What happened is this worked out perfect. Strip assembly A, yes, strip assembly A worked out perfect, just adding an inch to each cut. And then this worked out, but this, when I sewed it on, it was about that much short. So I added 2 inches and it worked. It worked perfect. So that is what I'm doing. I am getting my strip assemblies ready to roll, and I've got the middle part and each side pinned on. I'm going to just run those through. So there was a little problem. I needed to add a little bit more, and thank goodness I only cut one strip and cut it in half and then did my fiddling around. I usually don't do a test block, which I should, but in this case I thought I had better do that because I had a little extra than 1 yard of each, but I don't have a lot left of this guy. So keep your fingers crossed that I'm going to have enough, and I will be back in a little bit when I get these squares done. I am back, and I've got all 17 of these guys done. I did them in 2 groups, and then I had 3 more to do. So the first group of 6 I did just boom, boom, boom. I just chained them and everything. And then I came back a few days later and did the other 8, and then I had 3 more to do after that. Well, you know, I didn't pay that much attention. So I had the long pieces here going that way. Well, on the other one, I had the long pieces going this way. I mean, this piece I had here and the short piece here. Not a big deal, and you probably couldn't see it, but I couldn't stand it. So I had to rip those bad boys out. I ripped 6 out on both sides, and I made sure to make them all the same. So, I don't know. It wasn't that big a deal, and I think it would have been fine, but I wanted them all like this. So when you're doing that, if you don't do it all in one sitting and chaining, just make sure that your long pieces are oriented the same. Instead of here, have them here, or, you know, vice versa, but just have all of them the same. So yeah, that was kind of a bummer, but now I'm ready. I have all of these done, all 17 of these. Now I just need to measure my block and cut these, and those solid pieces, that's the whole block, is just a chunk of fabric, and stick those in between. One of these, boom, 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 and sew them together. This has been a really fun, fast quilt. I love it. This block was super fun, and I like that I made it a little bit bigger. It probably ended up, let's just see. It probably ended up 3 inches bigger than the block was in the book. So that's kind of fun. So it was easy to do. I just added an inch to everything, except for these pieces I added 2 inches to on this long the long number 2 fabric. Other than that, not a problem. Super fun, super fast. I was dumbfounded at how fast it went together. You just do 2 strip pieces, cut them out, cut the units out, take the strip pieces, flip one on each side of the other strip piece. 1 strip piece, these are together, and then you just cut the units off and flip one. Super, super easy. You guys should try it. So much fun. And the size it is in the book is great, but I just wanted this focus fabric to have a little bigger square because yum, it's so pretty. So anyway, that's what I did. I've got everything pinned together or clipped together. I just have each row, I put what row it is. So I've done row 1 and this is row 2 and I have it in order. With this on the upper left, that's how I remember the orientation. This one is every other block. We have the piece block and the solid block. So I'm just going to leave this clipped to the top corner, maybe top corner, and put these in my lap or out of the way a little bit, and make sure this one is right side up. The square is down here where it's supposed to be. The long piece is on the side, and it's super easy to match up. There are no seams to match. It's just a block next to this pieced block. And let me get my string here. I just get these lined up, hold on to my string, start, let that needle stay in the down position, and then I just kind of fiddle these around a little bit until I get it to look pretty good. And I can feel this seam right here is flipping, so I just lift my fabric and it goes back to how I pressed it. And just let this go all the way down. It is really easy sewing, and well, give that a little tiny tug so they're on top of themselves. And I'm just going to go to the end right here. And then I'm going to take the next 2 pieces, which is this pieced block and this, and I'm going to make sure that that is right side up. I'd hate flowers right in the middle of the quilt to be upside down. So just a quick double check, and I'm just going to butt this right up to the last piece. This is chain piecing. It saves you a little thread, and you just go on ahead and do that. I can feel that seam did the same thing, so I'm just going to pop it up. And now it's going the right way under the dark. And let me get down to the bottom here and just hold on to that, get this straightened out so everything looks how I want it. Give it a little scratch, get it into place. My piece is falling off up there. I'm going to cut that, scoot this out of the way just a smidge, cut these apart. Okay, these are still in the same order. Let me just move you a little bit. So I'm going to open this up. This is my first piece of row 2 and the second piece. So I want all the seam allowances to go to the solid fabric. It's a little darker than the white, and there's no seams to cause it. There's no seams in this. It wants to go, the seam allowance wants to go that way anyway. So just lift that up, and I'm just going to finger press down, and beautiful. I'm going to do the same with this piece. I'm going to finger press to the solid piece, and then I'm going to put those 2 together and do the third seam in this row. Let's move you one more time. Maybe you can't see. And get that started, match up the bottom. And I just fold that over a little bit and wiggle this a little till it looks like I want it. Let's just take a peek at how that looks. There we go. The piece block right here, pieced, solid, pieced, solid. And again, I'm going to finger press to that solid piece. Okay guys, for some reason, my video went wackadoodle, so you didn't get to see me put this last piece on. But here it is. The whole row, we have, this row starts with the pieced, a solid, a piece block, a solid block, and finally the pieced block. So that's how row 2 looks like. And row 1 is just opposite. As you can see, I have my cousin Sherry's Stepping Stones quilt top done behind me. It was a super fun, fast, easy quilt to do. I did change it up a little bit by adding 2 inches. I didn't measure these blocks. I didn't cut these blocks until I had these blocks done. I added 1 inch to each piece, and then I added 1 inch to this piece and 2 inches to this piece. And then I just cut this block to match this. I just wanted it a hair bigger than the 3-yard quilt pattern, and it turned out perfect. I just loved it. It was super fun. I just wanted this block a little bit bigger to show that really yummy floral fabric. So I think it turned out good. I didn't iron anything. I just threw it up on the wall, and super duper fun. I'll give you a close-up view here in just a second, but I want to show you the table topper that I did with the border fabric. This will be another video, but I just wanted to show you, this is the table topper that was the border fabric that went with this, I hope you can see it, that went with this floral fabric. So it was super fun, and this is coming up in another video on how to do this bad boy. Can you see it? I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's done with a 60-degree triangle ruler and a border print. So much fun. So that's coming up soon. And I ironed this, so I don't want to uniron. So let me go throw this back down. And I'm going to take you off here and show you a little closer look. Be right back. Here is a little closer view of the quilt top. Let me just get in there so you can see that really yummy floral. It is so pretty. And yeah, it was a quick and easy pattern. So there we go. And don't show you the mirror, because then you just see the junk I have in the other side of the room. You know, we just have too much stuff. But it's fun. But it was a really fun quilt. You guys should try it. Fabric Cafe Stepping Stones pattern. And there's one more close-up of that really pretty Deborah's Garden floral. Thank you so much for joining me on this Stepping Stones quilt journey. 3-yard quilt that's kind of beefed up a little bit, and it was so much fun. I am so glad you came along with me. And also, everybody, thank you so much for sticking with me. I know it's been a while since I've put a video out, and my last 2 videos were kind of Temu hauls. They were just kind of goofy videos, but I wanted to put something out there. But this one is actually some sewing. So yay! Thank you guys so much for coming along. This is the Stepping Stones quilt from Fabric Cafe. It's just made a hair bigger. And you guys, please stay happy, stay healthy, stay creative, and have a great time. Thank you so much. See you soon. Bye-bye.